Yo, guys, what is going on? It's your boy, 420 Gaming, James Colazzo, coming at you with another live stream of Doki Doki Literature Club. I hope everyone's ready. I hope everyone's ready for a nice little ride. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I just woke up from a nap, so so if my voices don't sound all that correctly, or I'm sorry, but I will do my best. Hashtag save Sayori, hashtag F Natsuki. Okay. It's the day of the festival. All days, I expected this to be one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going into her house to wake her up, but I decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently roll it up and take it with me. She sent me. Oh God, no. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably should be feeling the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend some time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing she's not answering her phone. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. James, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. Funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems where we are performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like, and I submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised that you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. Do you think on days like this, this is important, so try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and suddenly I feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone in to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, James. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Question mark. Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But I stammered, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell you about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Eh? Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets. I laid it out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this would definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, oh no, yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What is this? Hi, Mohammed, how's it going? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the ones he practiced. Get out now before she drags you down to the gates of hell. Oh my. Oh! It's different from the ones he practiced. It's the one that I haven't read before. Let's read it, shall we? Get out of my head! 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 Get out! That's a lot to get out of my head. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. James, what's wrong? Nothing. The poem feels completely different. The poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go get Sayori, so well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. It's even the simple gesture of waking her up to school makes her feel really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things would be the same, that they always been. That's all she needs. And what was I want to give her? I reach Sayori's house and I knock on the door. I don't expect an answer, but since he's not picking up her phone either, like yesterday, I opened the door and I let myself in. Sayori, she's really a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. That's really something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori, wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't this kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Say, Sayori. Sayori. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way it could be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up to a few days ago. That's why I can't believe my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I knew what was best, and yet everything would be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her? I shouldn't have confessed to her. Not that, that's not what Sayori needed at all. Even she told me how painful it is for others to care for her, about her. That's why I did confess to her and make her feel even worse. Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her. Sayori didn't kill herself, Monica did. And she made it look like a suicide. If I could spend more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her, like it always has been, then I couldn't have prevented this. I knew I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club, screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do can bring her back to... This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only a chance and I wasn't careful enough. And now I will carry this guilt with me until I die. There's nothing in my life worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do it what was needed from me. And now I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. And this game is not suitable for children. Oh, well, look at it. Look, well, there's no Sayori is there. There's just and just like that, this harmless anime similar gets a Sonic.exe style glitch and creepy music. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious from any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better running off away. However, I get sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk, letting catch up to me. error, 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 error. We got a trophy! Now Sayori is a glitch, Monica, what the fuck? It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst. The story has started over with Monica, what the fuck have you done? Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups. What the fuck is even happening right now? Mornings are surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I always walk to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time to meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs? There really isn't any that interests me. Besides, most of them will probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. James? Monica? Oh my goodness! I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiled sweetly at me. Do we know each other? Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little, what did you come here for anyways? Where's my drink? I need something to drink. Okay. Now Monica has the key role of Sayori. I just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here or markers? I guess so. Could you just check the closet? You're in the debate club, right? How about that? I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity on how to prepare for the events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know. Literature can be anything. It could be anything. Reading, writing, and poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. What? Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? she always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member. A member's a member, right? Did Monica say she's... Hey, James, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance that you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could, at the very least, visit my club, would it make me really happy? Please? Well, I guess I have no choice to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ahaha, awesome. You're really sweet, James. You know that? It's nothing really. This is crazy. The story started over. You have no memory, and it's like Sayori never existed. The club is just Monica, Natsuki, and Yuri. Yep. I wonder what else could happen, bro. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I'll be right back. Hey. Alright, hey, I'll be back, guys. Give me a minute.